What's up, world? Coach Brian Hurst here with Fuel House Gym in Seattle, Washington, with another edition of Remote Warrior Recap. So today's practice, I'm going to show you the whole thing because why not? It's Tuesday, we're feeling good. So we're going to start with our warm-up, 3 rounds. We did some jumping jacks for 15 reps. Then we went into a Cossack with a reach. So I'm going to lean to one side, keeping that other leg long. You can either reset at the top before going into the next side, or you can keep your hips nice and low. I personally prefer this variation, but it's up to you. Third movement, after we've done 5 and 5, is going to be standing Scap cars. Cars is controlled articular rotation. So we're loosening up our shoulders this morning. We're going to do 5 in reverse and 5 forward. So think about trying to keep your thumbs pointed forward and stay nice and tall. And follow your inhales and exhales as best you can. After you've done 3 rounds of those 3 movements, we're going into movement prep. Movement prep today, we've got a couple movements that we're working on our right, we're repeating on our left. Starting with our hardstyle plank, we're gonna go for 20 seconds today, or hollow holds if those don't quite agree with you. So, in our hardstyle plank, we're getting stacked with our shoulders right over the elbows. We're gonna pull our hips down, squeeze our butt, flex our quads, dig our forearms into the earth, and remember to breathe. For 20 seconds. Now I want to mention that with movement prep here, we want to treat our nervous system like we're warming it up as well. So don't go straight into that hardstyle plank or hollow hold with maximum effort. Really try to warm up that hollow hold, build tension as you go, and of course remember to breathe. Now we're getting into our single arm Sumo Deadlift on our right side. So we're going to go for 8 reps here, getting squared up, making sure I'm not starting the rep in rotation already. So we want to square up. For 8 reps. Then we're going to stay on the right side and go into some single arm clean and push press. So breathe in with the hips, clean that bell to the rack position. Now I'm going to loosen my grip, dip, and drive. You can absorb it, re-clean, loosen the grip. For 5 reps there. And the reason we want to loosen our grip is so that we don't over grip the bell. We want that power coming from the hips. Then we're going to repeat single arm Sumo deadlifts on the left, followed by single arm clean and push press on the left as well. Once we've done those, we're going to finish off our movement prep with some strict overhead presses. These can be done with singles or doubles. If you're doing doubles, you're going to do 5 reps. If you're doing singles, you're going to do 3 reps per side. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. We're using a tempo here. So when you're reading the tempo, if you see it online, 30x0, 3 is our eccentric. So in the eccentric portion of a press, it's going to be the lowering phase. The 0 is how long we're isolating at the top. The X is for the concentric portion of the lift, going up, so we're exploding up. And then the last 0 is for our reset time. So it'll look something like this if we're doing singles. Getting a nice strong base, explode up, slowly lower for 3, quick reset, explode, slowly lower for 3. Again, you're doing 3 per side or 5 if you're doing doubles. Of course, you can use the barbell as well. Then we go into our strength endurance. Well, let's back up here. We're gonna go through movement prep. Some modifications here if you need them. So we talked about our hollow holds instead of hardstyle planks. Reach out with those legs, squeeze your legs together, squeeze your butt together. Arms can be down at your side or you can be overhead, but we want to keep that low back in contact with the floor. Again, 20 seconds there. If we don't have anything for our Sumo deadlifts, we can single leg deadlift. Sweeping that leg back, still hinging at the hips. For 8 reps there, instead of clean and push press, we're going to hinge jump. So hinge, jump, send those hips back, find that hinge each time. Then we're going to repeat single leg deadlifts on the left, followed by, instead of another round of hinge jumps, we're gonna go into pike push-ups. So pike push-ups, we're getting set up here, we're gonna walk our feet up, keeping that weight in our hands, and then we're going to spiral the elbows in. Again, for 5 reps here. Last movement, instead of our strict push press, strict overhead press, we can either do push-ups or rows. So push-up variation here, or any row variation, maybe a sumo row. Trying to pull that weight back towards your pocket and your hip, not up towards your chest. Then, now we'll get into our strength endurance section with a clean and push press. We're gonna do 8 sets total. It's gonna be 4 sets per side. Now, we're gonna set a timer for 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds of rest. The goal here is to get 5 to 7 clean and push press on one side in those 30 seconds. So, again, clean and push press. Reclean. For 5 to 7 reps. If we don't have an appropriate weight to be doing cleans and push presses, or if cleans don't quite agree with us today, option here is bodyweight human makers, where you can add a set of dumbbells. So for those, kick back, you're gonna row, row, push up, come up, and finish with a thruster. Again, you can do those bodyweight or with a light set of dumbbells. 5 to 7 reps, 30 seconds on for 4 sets per side. Then, we're gonna finish off today's practice with some conditioning. Woo! 5 rounds or go for time depending on how much time you have at home. We're gonna aim for 5 sets. So, goal here is we're going to start with 10 swings. Find the flow on that swing. For up to 10 quality reps. Remember, if quality starts to diminish, park the bell, shake it out, then swing another day. Next up, we've got 5 and 5 goblet reverse lunges. So, getting my bell up in a goblet hold, and I'm going to do a step back lunge. I'm going to do all 5 before I switch sides. Then, next movement here is an anchored reverse crunch. So this is where we want to use a slightly heavier weight, or maybe your couch or a post, something to anchor yourself in. We're going to do some reverse crunches here. Of course, you can also just do some leg raises if getting that low back off the ground doesn't agree with you for any reason. After you do 10 of those, we're going to finish off our conditioning round with some single arm overhead marches. So, a couple things here. You can either clean and press, or if you're comfortable with snatches, you can snatch it to get it overhead a little faster. A couple things we want to focus on here. Strong neutral wrist, elbows locked out, shoulders packed, and we're keeping that load right over our center of mass before we march. Trying to keep those front ribs tucked down to help keep our core on, making sure that we're not dumping that low back. Now, we're gonna do 5 per leg and then switch sides. So a total of 10 marches per side, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. 5 per leg and 10 per side. Right, okay. Let's talk about some body weight modifications. If you don't have any weights for our conditioning, we've got hinge jumps for our swings. We've got body weight reverse lunges, alternating leg lowers if you don't have anything for your crunches. We talked about you can be double leg, but for alternating, we're gonna keep one leg high, bring it back, switch legs at the top. Then, if you don't have anything for overhead marches, we're gonna do alternating knee to elbow march. And really try to go nice and slow, stay real tall through the crown of your head here. Once you're completed with your 5 rounds or going for time in your conditioning, you are all done. Thanks for hearing me rant. Sorry, my words are a little off this morning, but we're here and you can do hard things.